Hi everyone! Today I'm going to look at the massively popular Roblox game Adopt Me to see if it's okay for your kids to play. This game has over 30 billion visits, which is just wild. But here's the interesting thing. The age rating they give is 7 and up, but Common Sense Media says 13. I don't think I've ever seen such a big difference, so let's dig into what issues there may be here. I am going to do this review a bit differently though. I can tell you right now there are no issues with sex or violence here, so I'm skipping them completely to focus on aspects like scams, which are super common in this game. Before we start, please take a second to subscribe if you haven't already. So in this Roblox game, you adopt and care for different types of pets. Some pets are more rare and valuable than others, so a big aspect of the game is trading pets to get the ones you want. The pets are grouped into 5 categories based on how rare or expensive they are. Speaking of expensive, let's dive right in and talk about cost. Some of the pets and other items can be purchased with Robux, which, as you probably know, translate into real money. If you want to know more about Robux, you can watch my review of the Roblox platform. So your kids are gonna want to spend money on these pets. I've even heard some of the rarest pets can be purchased on eBay. That's just crazy that people shell out lots of real money for a fake pet, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. So how much money are people spending? Well, Uplift Games, the company who makes Adopt Me, makes $60 million a year, so that gives you some idea. But the cost story actually gets even trickier. In the game, you can buy eggs, and you don't know what kind of animal will hatch from the egg. This situation where you spend money and you might win and you might lose is a form of gambling called loot boxes. Loot boxes are starting to get a lot of negative press for being unethical and have been outlawed in certain places. So as of September of last year, the Adopt Me game is actually banned in Belgium and the Netherlands. So this is pretty bad. However, you can play the game spending little to no money, so I'll still set this to just medium. Next, let's quickly cover language. Since this is a Roblox game, you're dealing with the multiplayer situation. That means if you don't adjust your chat settings, your kid can chat with strangers in this game. Again, if you want to know all the details of how Roblox chat works, check out my main Roblox video. But to sum up, yes, this can expose your kid to unwanted messages from strangers, but you can adjust who your kid can chat with in the settings. Other than the chat, I don't think there are any other language concerns, so I'll set this between a low and a medium. This brings us to the annoying rating, and this is where I'm going to talk about all the scamming in this game. Because if your kid is crying because he or she lost her favorite pet to a scammer, you're definitely going to be annoyed. There are lots of ways kids can get scammed in this game, but I'm going to focus on 3 ways that seem to be the biggest issues to me. I'll walk through how the scams work and how you can teach your kid to spot them and avoid them. The first is trading a fake rare item. Some items are incredibly rare and valuable. However, because they're so rare and valuable, your kid probably doesn't actually know what they look like. So a scammer may take a basic item and do some minor modifications to it, like change the color or something, and try to sell it as a rare item. If your kid doesn't know any better, they may trade away some of their most valuable pets and get something worthless in return. So the advice here is that if they want something very expensive and rare, they better research exactly what it is and what it's worth. The second scam is when someone claims that if you give them an item, they can duplicate it and give you back 2 of that same item. This is a scam that works with groups of 2 scammers. Scammer 1 makes the claim he can duplicate items. Scammer 2 says, "Oh, I want to try it," and gives Scammer 1 an item. And then Scammer 2 says, "Oh, great, it worked, I got 2 back." So now your kid believes that it works and gives the scammer an item for free. And then the scammer promptly leaves with your kid's stuff. The third scam is called trust trading. Usually when you trade your items, you do it at the same time. But a scammer will try to guilt your kid into giving up their item first, promising that they will give their item after. They may even ask your kid to try it with a cheap item first to prove the scammer is trustworthy. Of course, the scammer will come through with the trade for the cheap item, but when your kid finally agrees to give up their valuable item, the scammer will bail the moment he gets it. So trust trades, obviously not a good idea. So those are just a few examples, but there's way more. And all these scams are bad, but I'm still only going to set this to medium because if you teach your kid what to look for, they can avoid them. So that's the scoop. There definitely are some risks in this game, but they're basically risks of wasting time and money. Your kid may spend a lot on an egg only for it to be nothing good, or may work hard to get a treasured pet only to give it away. These aren't ideal situations, but you could argue that these are some learning opportunities for the kid in question. I'm going to go ahead and say this game is okay for 8 and up, with the caveat that you teach your kid to watch out for scammers. There are actually videos that give instructions on how to do these scams, so if your kid plays Adopt Me, they almost definitely will encounter one of these situations. And the easiest way to avoid them is for your kid to only interact in this game with their friends. Not that your friends could never scam you, but at least it's less likely. Well, let me know if you agree, and if there are any other concerns in this game that I missed. And don't forget to subscribe to see more reviews of what games, shows, and more are okay for your kids. See you next time.